I've never done this way before.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, Steph, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I love your red top there.
Thank you. Representing the love in the house.
That's right. You have a lot of love in that house.
A lot of love. All sorts of really good things going on. I actually just did an interview right before our show, so it was kind of nice to share some of the struggles of overcoming toxic relationships and helping other people get inspired to really make the changes they need to. And I'm excited for today's show to be able to share what we know, and our wonderful guest who's going to be sharing her experience with everyone who's watching and listening. So it's going to be a good show.
We have an amazing guest tonight, and she's in studio here in Long Island. But before we start, this is Kick Unhealthy Relationships to the Curb. I'm Steve Vaccaro. That's Stephanie McPhail. We're Tan Talk Network, Clearwater, Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg Live, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, FM 106.1, FM 104.3, tantalknetwork.com. And we're live streaming. We're on Cablevision. We're all over the place.
Everywhere. How do you remember all those numbers?
I don't know. It's a magic. It's magic. But Stephanie, we're here every Wednesday night from 5 to 6 p.m. And in a couple of weeks, we have a primetime cable slot every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Every Monday at 7 p.m.
Nice. Look at us.
Look at us go. We've been doing this show for 2.5 years. But in case people haven't heard about the show or know what you do, Stephanie, talk about your book.
Sure. I specialize in helping successful women thrive after ending toxic relationships. And I have now written 2 books. My first book is Being Loved Shouldn't Hurt, which shares my story about overcoming toxic relationships, the stories of 3 other people who also overcame toxic relationships, and also some tips and tricks that you could do to figure out if you are in a toxic relationship and what to do if you are. And then book 2 is just a workbook. So if you're looking to try to figure out what steps you need to take next and you're really kind of frozen, you're not sure what to do, the workbook is a great addition because it really helps go through the 6 modules that I take my clients through to get to really know yourself, figure out who you are, what you need, and be able to start standing up for what you want for yourself in your life and your relationships.
Presenting recently at different venues, right?
Yeah, I did a speaking event last month. Actually, now I guess it was like a month and a half ago. But it was really great to be able to go into the community again and go share my book and my story with those who came and listened and were there. So, it's I love being able to share this because it's a mission of passion, and I know you understand that with your background of your experiences. And, if anyone can take their pain and make it mean something, it makes it more understandable. We can actually heal more and help others heal when we use that for good.
No doubt. Chapters Community Support Services is a nonprofit organization, a 501c3 that's been around for a couple of years. We kind of target people that are in transition, going through adversity and different challenges in life, and through networking, collaboration, support, and offering a platform where unity and diversity meet one chapter at a time. And we've been doing this for about 10 years now. And I'm so happy to say that we have a gala coming up on October 8th here on Long Island, honoring our heroes that we're going to have that night, special night here in Long Island. And Ray Negron is one of them, Joe Salonica, Sammy Gonzalez, Michael Salage, Dr. Rapolo, and Van L, Assemblyman Van L, are all going to be there, including the Viscardi wheelchair basketball team that will be there. So it's exciting. We have great music that night. So I'm very, very excited. Only a couple of weeks away.
That's awesome. That's really exciting, Steve. It's wonderful to be able to give back to the community like that.
No doubt. And we have our 9th annual Collect for a Cause car wash this Saturday in Babylon, the old stomping grounds on Route 109. We're collecting canned goods for Long Island Cares. We're also giving out free CDs. Nate Jeezy, who has a show on our network, Never Let Up, a song called Blessed. We'll be giving that out between 9 and 1 in Babylon on Saturday. Can't wait. We've been doing it 9 straight years. It's right across the street from the WGBB studios where this show actually originated from.
Nice. Good stuff going on, Steve.
A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. But you, I saw a couple of pictures of you with a black cat. What's going on with the black cat?
Oh my gosh. So I actually had I was on my way back from the gym. I saw a little black cat and it was in the middle of the road, like oncoming traffic, everything. And so I stopped to go save it and it disappeared. I looked all around my car, couldn't find it. The next day, someone stopped me at a red light and told me to roll down my window and told me they heard my car meowing. So I was like, oh, that must be the little black cat that I saw. And so I looked for it, couldn't find it. I brought it, I went home. And for the next 3 days, this little kitten gave me a run for my money and kept going underneath my car. I had to get the fire department at one point, went to my neighbors. I now know all my neighbors' backyards and my neighbors because I was trying to get this little cat. And finally, September 10th, I was able to grab this kitten by the scruff of the neck and put it in a cage. And we have since decided that day to adopt it. And this is like my BFF. You'll see anybody who's listening, you can't see it, but this little cat just follows me around. Cuddles, is so cuddly and so sweet. And its name is Pilot because I have my car as a pilot. So its name is Pilot.
Nice. You know, I had a cat just like that in 1989, Cleo, and it ran away. Is that my cat?
This cat is tiny. It's probably 6 weeks. I mean, when we got it, it was probably 6 weeks old. It was a baby. So much so that it was like trying to nurse my fingers because it was just used to, it probably didn't even have real food yet. So this is a lucky cat.
Well, the kids must love it.
My kids, oh my gosh, my 6-year-old wakes up in the morning, runs to get the cat, and then at night wants to make sure it's safe in its little spot. So, oh yeah, my son is obsessed.
Dave's got that shocked look on his face. So is he liking it?
He at first was not ready to get talked into getting another cat, but it was probably when I finally got the cat, I said, all right, let me call rescues. Let me see who can help. And then the more the cat was in the house, I was like, this is my baby. I can't let this cat go. And then my husband was like, so what are you doing with the cat? I'm like, every time I call a rescue, I just feel like I can't do it. And they were all the ones I called were all full, which also wasn't good. And if you're listening on the radio, this is a black kitten too. And we're close to October. So black kittens don't do well at all. And especially not around, Halloween. So I just couldn't bear the thought of someone not treating this kitten right. So David finally, I think it was last Friday, he kept making excuses to come in my office. And I'm like, you're not coming in the office, are you, to talk to me? You're coming to play with a kitten. And he's like, no. He's like laying on the floor and the kitten's all like licking his face and whatever. And I was like, all right, I think we've got Daddy on board with this kitten adopting us.
There we go. This says Kick on Healthy Relationships to the Curb. We got a special edition today because we have Dr. Bakkivica on the show today, and she does amazing work. She's been in private practice for over 20 years. She has a relentless researcher. She's pursuing new medical findings and has assembled a team of scientifically trained experts who are developing all natural products for health and beauty. The top priority of the AB Bio team is scientifically based approach to develop the highest quality production to achieve end results. Nature provides in with the resources to promote vitality and longevity, and they're available to everyone. As AB Bio, we combine the ancestral knowledge of ancient cultures with the scientific approach to create a friendly product that defy age and improve health. Doctor, welcome to the show here today.
Thank you. I'm really privileged to be here and meet you in person and meet Stephanie. So yes, here I am.
Thank you very much. When I read the bio, I didn't give it any justice. So maybe you can explain to our people exactly what you've been doing this amazing work for so long.
Oh, well, that would take about a couple hours. So in short, you want to know what I'm doing right now?
Yes.
So right now, AB Bio has like 2 tracks. So one, which is, I would say, the major track, is that in 2011, I discovered ingredient based on methylene blue being activated. It kills all hospital infection, all all hospital infection in one-time treatment.
Wow.
It kills viruses, including COVID and all the derivatives of COVID, and it kills fungi.
Wow.
So this is a wow.
Yeah, that is unbelievable.
Plus, it has very strong anti-inflammatory effect at the same time.
Wow.
Just
So talk about before you talk about how that you developed that with your team.
So technically, it's I am a creator. I am the principal investigator, but it came, I guess, from my grandmother, who was a healer. And then when I grew up, I just grew up. I always wanted to heal. And my father is a famous movie star and a singer. And so we traveled all around. And I was always, looking, what do they drink? What do they do? I was left with my grandmother. And she told me, oh, if you bruise your a knee, then you have to put this leaf to stop the bleeding, or you have to drink this tea, or you have to use geranium leaf to alleviate ear pain. So things like that. So it was constantly some learning curve, right? And then again, I did study Western medicine. I am DMD, MD, and PhD. So my specialty is oral maxillofacial surgery. And I've done more than 15,000 surgeries. So technically, I see body from within. And the point is, so as good as surgeons as we are, we always, at the end of the surgery, we put the stitches on, because body heals.
Right.
We don't heal. We alter. We don't heal. So my research was how to boost natural healing. That was my major, and I did PhD on that at Boston University. It's in biomaterials. So I was always thinking how to heal faster, without side effects, without using antibiotics, doing shorter surgeries. And so that's why. And then I combined my practice from surgeries with my research. And in 2011, I came with that new product, which currently is patented. And yes.
Wow, that is amazing. Stephanie, what do you think?
I mean, that's amazing, is to be able to take, it's so funny how there are things out there that like our grandparents used, and, we were like, oh, that's not real medicine. Like we didn't even think two things about it. But here you are taking that and actually showing really how it is really so useful, and then bringing Western medicine along with it. I think that's amazing. I love that you were able to do that.
And also, it's very important, like you do this research, you find a finding, and then people say, wow, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So what I did all my research. I gave it to some independent researchers at Stony Brook University, at Boston University. Like for COVID, I just gave a sample to Department of Virology. And they said that it kills COVID virus upon a contact. And it's not cytotoxic.
Oh.
Not cytotoxic at all.
So when you shared your findings about the COVID specifically, how was that received within the medical world?
Oh, it was not received well.
Right.
Yeah, there's lots of politics, I guess.
There's lots of politics. So how did you overcome that? And what was motivation to get to that point, because that's huge.
It is too huge, right?
Yes.
It's almost like a burden. Yes. Um, Here I am, and I'm gonna do everything what I have in my powers to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And other track, what we have is a natural products,
Mm-hmm.
because we want to make sure that we can get fast acting results. We don't want to treat somebody for 8 months, for 12 months. In this fast acting world, when people can lose a job, they have to be fast paced, and they want to feel and look good.
Right.
We absolutely have to have a fast acting solution.
Right.
And that's what we created.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So when you present, let's go back to the COVID for a minute. We're gonna get into all that.
Yes.
So when you discovered that, when you kind of figured this all out, how did you present it, and where is it right now?
Right now, it's this kind of status quo, because we got patenting and a global patent, and we are working our way, slow ways, to get the FDA approval, because we could have technically sell it, but we can't put a claim.
Right.
That would put us into prison. So we can't do that, even though we have a product and we have tested and we know that it works. And I made a nasal spray and a mouthwash which would protect airways, so you don't get sick. Right. Which is the most important part.
Of course.
Right. But we can put a claim that it's against COVID.
Right. Well, I mean, this global pandemic has been with us for over 2.5 years now, and the origin of it, we all can debate about it, but politically, it's definitely political driven at this point at some time. So I'm sure you would have had conflict with the FDA and the CDC.
No, not yet, but with CDC, yes.
Right.
Yes, and we had a lots of talks like, who are you? Why the big companies, why big pharma can figure it out? Who do you think you are? But then again, there is Madame Curie, Tesla, Fleming, you name it. And they were all personalities, persona, one person. You don't need a whole team. You just need one mind, like Einstein.
Right.
It was not a big company. It was one person who has that vision. So that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, this is Kick on Healthy Relationships at the Curb. It's we're here every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, FM 106, and FM 104.3. If you want to join in, please do it. 727-441-3000. And we're talking about this discovery, this unbelievable situation that you have for COVID, but you really can't utilize it. But we have about 30 different natural products, which we absolutely can utilize. Well, let's talk about those natural products, because that's what people want to hear. I'm sure Stephanie has her pen and paper out ready to go, but talk about these natural products.
So Stephanie, you're about relationships.
Yeah.
So we have one absolutely brilliant cream which I created, and I call it a heart cross cream. It goes across the heart, and it's and also you add a salt, heated salt, and it pretty much works on plexus solaris and the heart, and it's really releases tension.
Wow.
So you can really avoid medicine, and you can have relaxation when you're really uptight.
That's excellent.
Yes, so that's one. And then we have a drink which I developed for cancer patients. When they go through the chemotherapy, they are having nausea, tiring, and chemotherapy is a chemotherapy. It kills everything. So I made it so it flushes out all the toxins. And so the body can, because the body suffers from cancer and from toxins, dead cells as well. So I created a drink. I call it a drink at the moment. So you can drink it to flush out all the toxins. And we have great results with patients who are going through the chemo. It takes away nausea, tiredness. People start to eat better. So the immunity gets boosted so they can fight cancer better. Right. And the patients who we follow up, they medical stats for cancer are getting better.
Wow.
But as a side effect, we notice that people who have diabetes type 2, all of a sudden their sugar is dropping. So this is like, we were not expecting that,
right,
but that's what we got.
Right.
And this is something what is, I think it's really magic.
Yeah.
Because again, it's 100% natural. It's all from the great ingredients, from the great sources. And we just put them together in the right proportions. Of course, we work in a lab day and night, but the results are astounding.
We're talking to Dr. Bakkivica, and she's talking about the amazing work that you're doing naturally. So how is it received with people out there?
They love it.
They love it.
The only thing is the people are like, who are skeptical, they want chemicals, they want a tablet, they want a pill. But let me tell you a story now. Right now we're having one excellent young man who chopped his arm off during the work accident. It was stitched back together. And then after 4 years, he's going for the final surgery, and it got totally infected. And he was using one antibiotic, second antibiotic. He was having a hospital nurse coming to clean it, right? And when I saw him, it's good that we don't have pictures before and after, because they're pretty. It's good for surgeons, not good for general public. It was really bad. So he was technically losing his arm again, and we were able to stabilize, to get rid of an infection in 2 days.
Wow.
No toxic.
Wow.
I have his video today, and I'm going to see him tomorrow, because right now we are working to get his hand moving again and in action. And I think that's worth living.
Mm-hmm.
If you can give somebody his life back.
Right.
Now I'm interested in, because so my husband 2 years ago had diverticulitis that perforated, and then he had to get surgery, and it became a life or death situation at one point. And he was on antibiotics, antifungal, like you name it, to try to just clean out his system. And I mean, that took weeks and weeks, and you had to do it exactly right. We had like you said, the visiting nurses come in to make sure that he was getting everything administered correctly. He had to go into the doctor all the time to make sure, because it would start to get better, but then you'd have to switch some of the antivirals and the antifungals to make sure everything was cleaned out. And so I think, just having that personal experience, I can understand how life-changing that would be, because for that to have been gone in like 2 days.
You can do it in 1 day, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, I started research on that product in 2013, and we have done I have done under my supervision 273 surgeries with the people who are immunocompromised, diabetics, elderly, you name it, all kind of blood problems. and we got 100% success in the long term, and 6 to 10 years follow up with that.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Those numbers, those stats
Yeah.
are great. Those are good. 100%. I mean, that's not often you get 100%,
No,
stats.
not at all.
Yeah. So
So, Dr. Bakkivica, I mean, obviously your experience in life has gotten to this point to really have these unbelievable things that you've developed, natural gifts, I'm going to call it. But you must have gone through some trials and tribulations along the way. How did you get to this point, overcome some of your adversity in life to continue that passion that you have?
so I guess my accidents with horse helped me, if you can say that way. I used to be an avid horse rider, and one sunny day when I just came back from my vacation in Greece and was going out for a nice evening ride on a horse, um, I decided to give a quick brush to my young horse because I had 19 horses.
Wow.
So, but yeah, 19 horses, 500 sheep, a couple of dogs, a couple
Wow.
of ponies. Yes, because I was developing a spa for tired people, for exhausted, was a nerve breakdown, recovering from all kind of emotional traumas. So that's why. And so when I finished brushing a horse, I was passing by her. She spooked, cross tie snap, and all of a sudden a mountain fell on me. I was on the ground, so the horse squashed me between the wall and the concrete floor. So all I could hear is crack, 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 and all I could think was, I don't want to get paralyzed. That was the only thing. And then the horse had to, she was freaking out as well, so she had to get out on her on her feet. And to get out on the feet, she needed to get the momentum. So all of a sudden, it's like second wave, like crack, 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 and then right into tunnel with a white light. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long ago
So
was that?
7 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so my hand, 19 broken bones, my spine broken into places, internal bleeding lungs, and my horn was torn out, was hanging here, and my scapula was like, I was like an angel, like
Wow.
here. Yes.
Oh,
So Western medicine put me together, and they wanted to amputate my arm, but I said no, just put it back. The doctor, I was flown to the private hospital, and he came in. He also has, English is not his first language. He came with all and he said, "You are a miracle. These are the dead body X-rays." That was a hello.
Right.
And then a couple days later, when I was I felt a little bit better. I said, when are you gonna reattach my hand? He says, you don't need your bones. Your kidneys are failing.
Oh.
So that was another week of fighting emotionally. But then once it's all was kind of connected with implants and things, my arm was just loose. And then the major changing thing in my life happened apart from accident. I couldn't move my arm. It was just limp. And they said it's gonna dry out. It's nothing gonna work. And just by sheer accident, I met a monk from Shaolin Monastery, and then he showed me that Western medicine is nothing. There is a different medicine,
Right.
which does work. And I don't want to create many enemies, because we did a physical therapy, stretching bands, doing things. I was screaming, crying, yelling, cursing, everything. So I gave up. I couldn't do it. And he explained me that there is other way to recover. The body needs, again, recovers when there is a flow of blood, flow of chi, and everything. And all of a sudden, 7 months later, here I am, fully
Wow.
recovered.
That's a blessing.
So, and I put that knowledge into my product.
So that adversity, that life-threatening event,
You can say that.
kind of
Yes.
created what you're doing now.
Yes. Yes.
We always ask questions like that, Stephanie, right? Like, if we didn't have that adversity back in our past, would we be doing the things that we're doing now, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's huge. And for anyone who's listening, I mean, the doctor just put her arm up, and I'm watching you talk with both of your arms moving, and I'm amazed that you're able to have any movement at all, let alone it looks like full range of motion. It doesn't even look
Yeah.
like you're having any trouble at all. That's
No.
amazing.
Yes. And that changed my perspective to treatment. Totally.
So do you think you're more empathetic now towards patients or clients? Like, do you think that this
Same.
allowed you?
Same.
Did
The only thing, I'm not doing my job as a researcher as much. I should be writing articles, papers. I should be doing lots of paperwork, just publishing. I prefer to treat people. And that's a part which I'm neglecting. Yeah, if I see a person and tomorrow I'm going to drive to that person because I can save his arm, I think it's more important for me than writing an article. I know I wrote one book and I can write another 2 or 3, but I just see that patient and I go there.
So you have that passion to really help people.
Yes,
that's why
I can help myself.
Right. It's kind of like what we kind of do, right? I mean, we have that passion to help people.
Yep.
And I know I can't help myself. So
no, because when I see that his wound has healed, the
Right.
guy, I am happy.
Right.
I'm really happy.
How has the pandemic affected the work that you've done?
Oh, I loved it.
You loved it. Why?
It gave me all the space and time to create new products.
Okay.
Because I didn't have to go between my surgeries, and Stony Brook was closed. So I had my micro lab, tons of time to research every product, every supplier. And we have all the product ingredients coming from Switzerland, France, and Italy. And not because I'm European, but because they really know at what time to pick up fruit or leaf, and how to dry it out. So just giving an example, if you want to eat a strawberry, you're not going to eat it when it's in form of flower.
Right.
And you're not going to eat it when it's rotted.
Right.
So you're going to eat it when it's ripe.
Right.
Right. So same thing. You have to pick every single natural ingredient at the right time, and you have to preserve it in the right way. You can't put it on the heat to dry. It has to be dried slowly in a ventilated area, in a dark space, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's very easy to buy products which don't work.
Right.
As processed, stripped of colors, us to get the white creams, but then it doesn't have actives anymore.
Right.
It's a nice preserve. Yeah.
Good, Stephanie.
Well, I was just thinking, I'm listening to you, and obviously you're very passionate about what it is that you do, and it sounds, so amazing. And to be able to have all of these people, have you had to create a team? Because you might have invented it by yourself, but how do you keep up with the supply and demand? Like, do you have to teach other people what it is that you do?
That's
a
painful
do
part.
all this stuff?
That's a painful part, because back in my office, I have the best team ever. They know everything. They've been trained. And with some I've been working for 28 years, 31 years, 19 years.
Wow.
So that's, we just don't have to talk. We just look at each other, we
Right.
understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm inventing a new team.
Mm-hmm.
And I am expecting from them something what I expect from my other team.
Right.
But it's
Doesn't
not
happen
easy.
that way.
No, not.
So when you mentioned
takes
before, people like to have that pill, like to have that tangible relief, or they feel is relief. How do you talk to them about this other option and naturally?
Technically, I'm working through the doctors. And then we have a little concilium, and we go through all the medical stuff and medical tests and results, and I talk to the patient, and I see from my standard of view, and then I put together what I think what would be the best and the fastest way to recovery.
So is it frustrating for you at times when you have to explain what you're doing to others? And,
Oh yes.
Well,
Yes.
you're coming on this show today explaining what you do, but this is just an icebreaker. So now that we're
I
getting to know what you
know.
do, and how are the folks at Stony Brook? How is AB Bio, and how do you feel things are for you right at this moment? And then what are your goals for the next year?
Oh, big goals. I don't know if I can achieve them. I really am looking for a good team. A good team. I don't want. These products are so great that I don't want anything mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking like I'm handpicking. So that's a key to have the good base, good fundamental.
Right.
Once you have that, you can stem out great things.
Mm-hmm.
If it's comme ci comme ça, as the French say, it's not gonna give a good results.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So also working with doctors. Right now we're working with doctors at Beverly Hills, and they are just looking for new solutions because Botox doesn't work anymore.
Right.
People don't heal that well. They don't look that well. So here we go, and we work with the doctors, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. And obviously, sooner or later, we'll have to deal with FDA.
Right. And that, when do you see
That's
that happening?
different.
When do you see that happening?
We need a team.
The
We
team.
need. I have amazing lawyers. Amazing lawyers, but it's a process.
Mm-hmm. So when you develop that team, like you said, you had people that have been with you for a long time,
Yes.
but now you're training people now
for different purpose.
for different purpose.
Yes.
How big of a team are you looking for?
It depends. I think a team of 10, extra 10 people would be absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to explain, like for example, we had just a talk with a doctor who sees about 100 elderly patients a week, and she looks for solution for arthritis, and we have extremely good results with arthritis, and I can show you pictures before and after when people have crooked fingers, and we using finally cream and a massage on a daily basis.
Wow.
Technically straighten out, plus they could do all the function, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And
And
I
how
would say
can people
creating
get
a
you?
team.
Oh, go ahead, Steffi. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, so to jump in, I mean, I know that I've looked to create a team before, and it's hard sometimes to find people as passionate about what it is that you do. So sometimes that's difficult. But the other thing is getting them to be able to, for me, I even found, even just thinking of the steps that I take, what do I even do? What are the steps that I take that I can teach someone that I would like to work for me, how they can do the same thing that I do with a similar process? Because like you said, I think it's not just, it's about making sure you're mixing things properly. I'm sure you're giving directions to the person who's using it, whatever the doctors need to know what's done. I mean, there's so many things, moving parts to it, that you want to make sure that you're really explaining things in a way that anyone could follow and do it exactly the same way you can. But it's hard sometimes, right? To like think about all the steps you
Oh,
take.
it's more. It's harder than to invent new thing.
Yeah.
For me, it's really hard
Yeah.
because being a surgeon, I'm a perfectionist.
Hmm.
I can't do less than perfect.
Yes.
So because I do the best what I can do myself. Of course, we're not gods. We sometimes make mistakes, but I expect from the other people the same, and
Yeah.
that's bad news, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Well, we can still expect it, but again, I think it's like just know what it is that we do. I mean, I've had to do that. Like I said, I've had to do that for my business, and I had someone. They're like, "Well, what are the steps that you take?" And I was like, I looked at them like they had two heads. I'm like, I don't know what's that. I just do it. I just do the thing. And they're like, no, you got to actually come up with the exact steps that you take. And I think it helps me to kind of look at what it is that I do, and we don't give ourselves credit all the time for our really great abilities. And I think for you, and I'll say too, as a female surgeon, because I'm all about women's empowerment. And my husband, when he had his surgery, he had a female surgeon, and her and I actually became really good friends. But it's not a woman's world in surgery, and
Yeah.
it's not a woman's world in creating new products that are life changing like this. Do you find it difficult to make yourself sometimes make yourself?
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
We've been toying around with Johnson and Johnson for about 2 years. They wanted my product, but they wouldn't sign any papers. Who are you? A little company. Just give us, tell us what it is. We're a good company. And like, no, not really.
Mm.
So yeah, I've been treated fairly unfair many times, especially when you do with seed money. When you do, it's just like the offers are ridiculous.
Right.
I don't think they would ever offer something like that to a man. But
But how do people get your product? So where are the status of it now?
so we have 3 ways. One, we have 5 products on market on a website, and then we have custom-made products to adjust to their needs, because not everybody is the same.
Right.
Not everybody needs the same pill. And we have people book call, or the doctors bring the patient. We look through everything, and we make a custom product.
Okay.
Like, for example, we have now 30 something formulas for health for different
Wow.
reasons. But we are lacking bottling and design.
Mhm.
We're shorthanded.
Right.
Shorthanded, literally shorthanded.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So where do you go
So-
from here? I mean, shorthanded. So you're looking for a team.
Yes.
You can get some product on the website.
No, you get products on the website, and you can book a call and talk about what you have. And then if you don't want fancy label, we can do a custom made.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is the most rewarding aspect of the work that you do, and the most challenging aspect?
The most rewarding is to get a text message from the guy who could save the hand.
Right.
And also, what is rewarding, he was going through the antibiotics for a month or so and everything, and he was stressed out to no end,
Right.
and we put all him at ease at once.
Wow.
Right? That's
Yeah.
that makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
That
no
makes
doubt.
my heart sing.
That's beautiful.
Right. Because many people, when they get rid of pain, they get rid of psychological problems.
Mhm.
Because how can you be happy if something hurts all the time?
Right. That's
Yeah.
true.
And I'm thinking
And
of,
If
I'm
you
thinking
have
of
to
my
drag your
mom.
foot, how can you smile? You're in pain.
right.
I think of my mom who has a lot of physical pains, and sometimes it grates on her and would grate on anybody else to like wake up in pain, and she's always feeling like, is this ever going to get any better? I mean, I just she's always in pain, but there's different levels of it. Like sometimes it's so excruciating she just takes medicine and goes to sleep. But that's a tough life to live if that's what you wake up to every single day.
Plus, you have a side effect, right?
Exactly. And she's had heart issues because of it. Her liver, they keep looking at her liver because of it. So yeah,
I guess we can look into your mom's health.
that would be.
Yeah, I will be happy to.
Thank you.
And I kind of know the challenging aspect, but can you share with us the most challenging aspect of the work that you do right now?
Oh, people don't believe that natural ingredients can heal fast. They're like, nah, I use this, I use shaga, I use cinnamon, turmeric, I use this. I bought all the supplements. I'm still sick.
Right.
And we say, no, you can have a fast healing. Said, no, it's impossible. It's just so engraved that you have to constantly buy and buy and buy and buy and buy and get it. But it can be done other way, like my Chinese monk taught me. I even went to the Chinese medical school here in Long Island for a
Wow.
year, but the teachings was so different, so kind of low in comparison to Chinese monk that I just dropped it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So almost at the end of the show here, but how can people get a hold of you, contact you? We have people in
Definitely,
Florida that are
it's
very interested in what you do.
It's abbio.io. You can book a call. I always find the time to talk to a live person because I'm a surgeon. I like, one thing is to sell online, other one is to treat. So, and get the fastest solution and the best way how to treat it. Yes.
Wow. Dr. Alana Bakkivica, this has been an amazing hour, and I can't
Same.
wait to hear more of the work that you do and how you're helping people, and getting the word out is very, very important. And I guess you have to find different ways to get it out.
Oh, that's something what I'm not experienced
Mhm.
because as a surgeon I had a word of mouth and I had a 6 months waiting list. So for me, I didn't even need a website technically.
Right.
I had to take care of my health because
Mhm.
if today somebody signs to see me on April 16th, I have to, at that day, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm crucified. I have to be there in a perfect health, in a perfect condition, and a perfect time because they will show up.
Right.
Here is starting from scratch, from minus, from zero.
Right.
And one thing, I had the toughest decision so originally I'm from Latvia, where I'm a big fish in a small pond, and I was doing a lot of charity work apart from my medical work, and I was nominated to be a candidate of president of Latvia.
Wow.
And so I had to make a decision. Do I want to live in a gold cage for 4 years, or I want to struggle and try to get my products out to the people? So here I am.
Here you are.
Wow.
And we're so thankful that you chose this route.
It's not easy.
No. Well, Dr. Bakkivica, thank you so very much. We'll have to get you back on the show real soon.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Stephanie. Great work that she's doing.
It's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of that. And I'll definitely be I'll either reach out myself or have my mom reach out for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can both have. We can have a video call or something. Yes.
That'd be
Thank
excellent.
you.
Thank you.
So stick around. We'll talk after the show. But Stephanie, we have a few more moments left, and great work that the doctor's doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's really inspiring and again, like as a woman too, I just love seeing successful women doing, being world changers like that. I mean, to be able to create a product and then not only just be a surgeon. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And then here she is creating a product that is like new to the market that's going to change the entire way that people do medicine. I mean, that's huge.
And what she talked about,
Thanks.
what's the most rewarding and challenging aspect is pretty much what we all face, right? The rewarding is when you heal someone or you see someone being healed or moving away from a toxic situation. And the challenging is not being able to talk to people about it or convince or to empower them to the point that they can get help.
Yeah, and that's one of my hardest jobs. Is like, and I said this before. Once my clients work with me and they commit to doing the work, we got it. Like we're going to do it. The hardest part is getting people to understand that change is possible and that is possible for them. That's really what we have to, and then they have to invest. They have to invest in
Right.
themselves, where there's time and money and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's the hardest part. But once you can get that figured out and they're open then to the potential and then actually doing the work, then we can do it. So I get the frustration at times when you've got this great thing that can change people's lives and you're not seeing them take advantage. It can get really irritating at times.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm a Stony Brook graduate alumni. There's like 300,000 of us people out there. You're formerly of Suffolk County.
I went to Stony Brook for 1 year. I didn't graduate from there, but I did go for 1 year after I was done with my bachelor's because I thought I might become an English teacher. I did not, but I did go there for English.
Did you commute there?
Yep.
Yeah. So you parked in the P lot.
Yeah. I parked wherever I could find a parking place and then ran to class.
Oh, that's what I did. I got into classes. I went back out. But we're going to end our show a little promo video of Stony Brook. And I love that place. So thank you so very much.
Bye, everybody.